got your team chosen, you're ready to go, you're primed and ready for a bit of FM21, and your tactic just won't work. You can't get anything going on. Sometimes you end up sacked, but why?
FM Stinger.
I'm on Twitter the other day, and Miles Jacobson, if you don't know who he is the head honcho of Sports Interactive, so basically the dudes who make Football Manager. He replied to someone with this tweet just below. Don't try and shoehorn players into a tactic they're not capable of playing. If you have a tactic in mind for the long term, train players or bring ones in that fit that. It got me thinking how a video is needed for this to show people, especially new people playing the game, how to approach it, how to get that tactic right when you get going. So your tactic might not be working because your players aren't suited to the tactic. It's basically what it boils down to, and what Miles said in his tweet there, which rings so true. It's basically like if you took over Burnley and going straight in with the team they've got and try and make them play out like Barcelona. So you need to take a step back when you join your team, decide what tactic you want to play, and then have a look at your players and think, can they play that way? If they can't, you'll have to get the players in to play that way. And it's not always possible, especially when you start a new game, because you're not going to be able to get the players in, and especially to that volume. In this instance, we'll take lower league management as an example. Okay, so lower league management, the players you're going to have are not going to be technically adept to play a free-flowing game. The roles they're going to play, they're going to want basic ones. They're not going to be as good at plucking out roaming playmakers, for example. You're not going to find one of them in the lower leagues, especially in the non-league. So you need to plan your team based around that philosophy. I always say basic is better down in the lower leagues because attribute-wise, you kind of dictated what your players can do for you. I don't see them playing expansive diamond formations to a great deal of success, for example, with Mazzalas, roaming playmakers and false nines running all over the place. On screen is a formation I use to get my Darlington team up from the National League North into League 2. A few things to look at. The formation, it's a 4-4-2. They're all pretty adept at playing that. The player roles, basic ones. You've got fullbacks. There is a ball-playing defender, which is probably the most expansive one on that team. Then you've got basic things like target men, wingers, box-to-box midfielders, and fullbacks. Nothing crazy, basic. The other thing I want you to look at is just on the far side there is the team instructions. Not many is there. There's 3 in possession, there's 3 in transition, there's a few more in out of possession. I'm not overloading the players, I'm keeping it basic. Referring back to this tweet, don't try and shoehorn players into a tactic they're not capable of playing. Lower league players, they're not capable of playing that sort of way like Barcelona or Real Madrid or Man City or Liverpool. You're going to have to scale it back a bit. You're going to be a bit more realistic with your plans. Now, to show the point, I've made a couple of experiments lasting a full season using the Darlington team that I had. So this is where my Darlington team finished in the Van National League North, playing that basic 4-4-2 we just showed you with the basic team instructions. Pretty basic roles. So, champions, winning 29 out of 42, only losing 4, scoring 93, only conceding 40. Total points, 96. So that should show you that that works. Now what we're going to do now is, I'm going to simulate some seasons with some more expansive tactics that I've used in other teams with Darlington, and we'll see what the results are. The first tactic we're going to trial is the one I used in my Chasing Trophies save with Club Bruges. Club Bruges are a technically gifted team with fast players and superb technical players. We used this formation, we blitzed the Belgium League, winning a double. So, all good, right? Strong formation. How's it going to work in lower league management with Darlington? Expansive roles, technical players needed, a lot of team instructions. Let's have a look. So here is the tactic. It's sharpshooter, the tactic, and you can see there's some expansive ass roles in there. We've got a couple of wing backs, both centre backs on ball playing defenders, sweeper keeper, roaming playmaker, inside forward. It's all going on. Now look down the side as well. All them team instructions. There's way more than I had in my Darlington team. That's the formation we're going to use. Let's sim it a season. Let's see how it works for Darlow in National League North. There's the results. We got sacked. So, forced into a decision triggered by the club's poor league position. Manager since July 2020. Following Darlington's 2-0 Vanarama North defeat against York, Davidson side are currently 8th with 45 points from 30 matches. So this table's taken just after that, 33 games gone. They're in 7th, so they're not doing too bad, are they? But if you compare it to the 4-4-2 tactic where we only lost 4 all season, they've played 33 and they've already lost 12. First one, sacked. So the first one didn't work, did it? We used our Bruges tactic, which I know was successful because we won the double with it, but we needed technically gifted players with it. Quality players. Just like it says below in Miles' tweet, we shoehorned the lower league players into it because that's the way we wanted to play, even though the standard wasn't there. Ended up with us getting sacked. But maybe that was just a rarity. Let's try another one of my tactics. Let's fly off to Denmark this time. Okay, again from the Chasing Trophies save. This time it was from FC Copenhagen. Not as technically gifted team as Bruges, but still high quality with some big team instructions. Let's have a look at the tactic, then let's test it in the National League North. Is the Copenhagen tactic that we won the double with. It's called Diamond Cutter, and as you can see, it's a variation of a 4-2-3-1, using a couple more withdrawn midfielders. Wing backs again though, ball playing defenders again, sweeper keeper, inside forward, inside winger, deep line forward, attacking midfielder. All these roles are all accompanied by the player instructions that have roaming from positions, so it's a free roaming positions. It's going to require good mentals and probably too much for a lower league team. Lots of team instructions as well. Team instructions, player instructions, it's all going on. For me, too much for lower league. Let's sim it, let's see what happened. Again, we didn't last the season, we were sacked. Around the same amount of games, so 30 or so. This time we're in 10th place. Similar statistics, it looks like. Only lost 8 games this time, but a lot of draws. A bit off the pace. A bit of a harsh sacking if you ask me, but again, think back to the 4-4-2 with Darlow that were the top of the league by a country mile. This one, again, too much for the players. Okay, we've shoehorned players into 2 different tactics now. 2 tactics that previously had won doubles in the seasons that were used. So they are quality tactics, but we've been sacked twice. Let's try another. It's time to go to Inter Milan this time. Tactic I used in the beta that didn't win a double, it won a treble. Treble winning tactic. Completely different. 3 at the back. 3 at the back in lower league management, what do you reckon? Ball playing defenders, advanced playmakers, false nines, can they handle it? Lots of short passing, fluid play, very technical team. Bear in mind this was used with Inter Milan. Won a treble, Champions League, Serie A, Italian Cup. Can it do the business in lower league management, or are we just going to be shoehorning once again? We've been sacked again. It's getting worse though, it's getting worse, believe it or not. Davidson's departure is thought to have been triggered by the club's poor league position again. This time, however, we are down in 13th and we only managed to survive 17 games and they pulled the trigger. That's how unconvincing we've been. Looks like we also got knocked out of the FA Cup by somebody called Yaxley. We survived 17 games with the 3 at the back, a treble winning tactic no less. Too complicated for the lads. Too complicated, too much going on, too much shoehorning. Back to basics please. So there we have it. We've just trialled 3 tactics that won a combined 7 trophies between them in 3 seasons. And they all ended up with us getting sacked in lower league management. It's a different animal, it's a different gravy. And what it shows you is, you need to choose your tactic to work with the players you've got. You can't just say, I am playing this tactic and I'm getting these players to play it. It won't work. You've got to take a step back. See what they're good at. See what league you're in for a starters. If it's a higher league, you can start with a technical team maybe, if you've got the players to do so. If it's lower league management, like we've just shown, you are far better off at scaling it right back, going for basics, and ignoring the more extravagant play until you work your way up the leagues.